Good evening. Oh, no. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is me, KG Kris Gardner of the Houston Roundball Review. It is high noon on Thursday. Welcome to this edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover of the Lunch Break, powered by JM&E. Currently, no sponsor on this edition of the Takeover. The relationship with Bayou B News ended in February, so there is an opportunity for anyone who wants to join and become a sponsor of the Houston Roundball Review. Just reach out to me, and you can do so. Advertise at thehrr.com. Because I'm flying solo, I am back on a different platform to do a few different things and see if things work better than the first time I was on this platform with the comments. So feel free to comment because this is live. This is live, and the reason I decided to go live is twofold. One, I'm solo on the show today. Kenitra Pulliams is in Kansas City at the Big 12. Brother Willie Gibson is working. So we did not record the show on Wednesdays as usual, as has been accustomed the last few times. So I'm live. But also, I was waiting to see if certain news would happen before I did the show. And it did happen. So I want to discuss that. That's what we're going to do in this edition of the show. We're going to talk about Houston Cougars basketball, specifically Houston Cougars women's basketball. And literally, that's why I was a few moments from later starting at the top of the show. The news came out. Let's see if I can get this to work. There you go. Head Coach Ronald Hughey has resigned as Houston women's basketball head coach. University of Houston Vice President for Athletics, Eddie Nunez, announced Thursday that women's basketball head coach Ronald Hughey has resigned after 11 seasons. Quote from Coach Hughey, Houston, Mrs. Chiser, Dr. Couture, Eddie Nunez, and all my former players and coworkers, thank you. I appreciate and love you, end quote, from Coach Hughey. Wish him well. I think there is more to that comment, so let's see if I can get that to work here. During Hughey's tenure, the Cougars posted a 140, 195 overall record, including a 65, 119 mark in conference games. Houston finished its 2024-25 season at 5-25 overall and 1-17 in Big 12 conference play. Quote from A.D. Nunez, we thank Coach Hughey for his dedication to the Houston women's basketball program and this great university. We appreciate Coach Hughey's efforts during his time at Houston and his loyalty to our student athletes. We will conduct a national search to identify the next leader to move our program forward. So there you have it. Let me know your thoughts. It looks like, I don't know if people are able to comment, because if they are, we're back to the bad luck that I had on the very first time I was on this platform. And I can't see the comments, unfortunately. But the way it's worded, the way it was well, let me say it how I can say it. He was gone. Okay. His contract ends, Coach Hughey's contract ends May 31st, 2025. His contract was not going to be renewed. Okay. It was not happening. It was not going to happen. So trust me when I say that. It was not happening. So I want to be clear on that. I'm pulling it up on my phone, see if I can see any comments. So if you have comments, let me know. But everyone, Coach Hughey he resigned It's the high road. There you go. Thank you, Mr. Big Texco. I can see your comment, so I'm going to put it on the screen. Excellent. So that is working. He is the first, his comment is the first comment I see on this platform. So this is not my usual platform that I would say it, but they don't plug me, they don't pay us to promote them. So why do that? So you will see some tweaks and differences on this platform than the usual platform we use for Let's Rage Cougs, the AdMax Corner, etc. But yes, Coach Hughey resigned. He was not going to be brought back. I reached out to the administration a few days ago and asked if a statement from athletics would be made stating basically, we are not bringing back Coach Hughey. We're not going to renew his contract. That was how I was expecting it. They did not go that way. Coach Hughey resigned. Rex, I see you as well. Going to give some shine to everybody's comments I see. Thank you very much for your comment as well on this edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover. Streaming live today. Yes, streaming live on YouTube at Houston Roundball Review, on Facebook at Houston Roundball Review, and of course on Roku via the BS3 Network. If you have a Roku streaming device, just download BS3. You can watch the show. If not, just go to bs3tvlive.com and watch it that way. But do yourself a favor. Do me a favor. Do us a favor at BS3. Get the app. Watch it on Roku. You can watch live shows. You watch on-demand shows. And what still ends, would have ended May 31st, 2025. I'm going to talk, if I can do this, let me see. I want to play his comments from yesterday's game. Let me see if I can do that real quickly. Here we go. Coach Hughey's, let me hide this slide, if I can figure out how to do it. Let's see, I'll just go ahead and play. Keep that. And play the slide.
First of all, thank our group. You know, we were heavily outmanned all year, and for the fight and the resiliency that our kids played with all year. Again, had some unfortunate things that happened with injuries, and you know, a lot of other teams were folded. You know, especially when we had to play a couple games with 5 people. You know, and so again, just to be resilient and fight through and keep the faith and represent, you know, as best we could with the University of Houston across our chest. That's the first thing I'd like to say is thank you to them and being able to do that. I thought we came out and kind of started off a little slow today and kind of picked it up a little bit in the second half, and especially in that fourth quarter. That was the first time we were able to press all year. If you know anything about Houston, that's what we've known for, but we didn't have the numbers to be able to do that this year. But we thought, let's lay it all out there the last 10 minutes, and to be able to force that really good Colorado team into 33 turnovers, you know, 25 in second half, it was just tremendous for us. But hats off to JR and her group, because again, they're a really, really resilient group as well. They had some injuries. They came in really prepared to move the basketball, not let us get up and deny them, pressure them. They kept the ball going. They wanted to get us with ball screen stuff. And when we figured that part out, they wanted to be able to keep it going. But the thing they did really well was 14 getting all those out-of-area rebounds when we really pushed them into bad shots or bad opportunities. She kept balls alive for them. And, you know, hats off to them.
What are your thoughts? What you just heard there from Coach Hughey? Those are his final comments as head coach of the Houston Cougars. That was Wednesday after their first round loss to Colorado, 66-58. And comment question from Rex. Do I think the AD will hire an up-and-comer head coach or an assistant from a good program? Mr. Big Texco asks, so coach did himself a favor and resigned before getting fired. Yeah. And I mean, is it fired if your contract is not going to be renewed? He wasn't coming. and I'll post it again. Do I think the AD will hire an up-and-comer head coach or an assistant from a good program? Folks who follow and support me, the Houston Roundball Review, know I am a huge supporter of women's basketball, specifically women's college basketball. I am in the loop on this, on folks interested in this job. I have been surprised at the folks who have contacted me who have indicated interest in this job. They are from Power 4 programs. I was told 10, 11 days ago that once everything is official, whether it would be a statement from UH or Coach Hughey resigning, that I would be shocked with the people, the caliber of coach interested in this job. Miss Wanda, how you doing? Thank you for chiming in. No worries whatsoever. So trust me, and I'll say it like this. You watch the women's NCAA tournament, the NCAA women's tournament. There will be coaches in that tournament who have interest in this job. Okay? There will be coaches in the tournament, who have interest in this job. Because many coaches believe the success of the Houston Cougars men's basketball program under head coach Kevin Sampson in these same 11 years that Coach Hughey was in charge at Houston can be replicated on the women's side. The facilities, almost everything the UH men have, the women's team has. Houston Cougars women's basketball has some of the best facilities for women's hoops, the best in the city for sure, and some of the best in the state and in all of Division I basketball. So Miss Wanda, Coach Hughey made it official and announced he was resigning as head coach from the Houston Cougars. So that is now official. So we're talking about the decision. This part here, I know Nunez has ties to that school in Louisiana. Yes, but let's not get carried away on that one. But there are coaches there, and there are head coaches. Let me be specific. There are a few head coaches who are like, I believe in Houston. I believe in what Houston could be. I believe in the city of Houston, the talent in the greater Houston area, the Big 12. I could be the right person for this job. And as Rex, this comment right here, TCU women's basketball won the regular season this year in Big 12. 2 years ago, they finished dead last in the Big 12. What changed? New head coach, Coach Mark Campbell. Came from Oregon, West Coast, Pacific Coast, recruiter. Look at the turnaround. Money invested into the program. NIL, that's important as well. 2 years, from last to first in 2 years with a new head coach. So the right coach can do wonders in a turnaround for a program in any job. The right person in any job can do wonders for a company, for a team. I don't know. I don't believe Eddie Nunez will be in a hurry for the next head coach. It makes sense to me to wait till the Final Four or after in Tampa. You may want to have some more face-to-face contact with coaches in Tampa. National convention, great way to network, touch base with some people if you want to ask a few more questions. You can do it discreetly, as I've seen that. I've seen that before at the Final Four on the women's side. So Chandy Jones, legend. She's currently coaching in high school. I don't believe she'd be the head coach. I think she'd be a smart hire as an assistant coach because of her ties to this area and her ties to the program and her love for her alma mater. And she has not been pleased with the demise of her alma mater's women's basketball program since she graduated. Will knows this was the last year of his deal. Brother Will, how you doing? So yeah, he resigned before his contract ended May 31st, or before the Cougs administration announced he would not be brought back. So, I want to say it. Coach Hughey was not coming back. Okay, it's official now. Let me see, this is March 6th. I started receiving calls, contacts, texts, probably late January from coaches or people connected with coaches who would show interest in this job. They picked my brain on it. And one question that they asked me was, how serious is the administration when it comes to winning in women's basketball? Is it important to them? How serious are they? That question, it can't right now be solely financial, because the money's just not there to pay the next head coach $3-4 million annually. It's not realistic. Not in the budget. Can't do it. The next head coach will make more than Coach Hughey made at Houston. How much more? I don't know. Coach Hughey made only, it's a lot to me because I'm broke. Coach Hughey made probably less than $400,000. Okay. So like 350, 325, 350. The next head coach will get more than that. Not saying it's going to be as much as $1 million per year. Probably get close to it. But the next head coach has to understand what he or she is stepping into and share the vision that Eddie Nunez has for women's basketball. Win here at Houston, women's side, 4 years from now, 3-4 years from now, get to the tournament a couple times, then we can renegotiate your contract and give you a raise based on what you accomplished your first 2, 3, 4 years at Houston. So as long as the coach understands that, this job is in demand. Trust me. I mean, text messages are coming through my phone. It's done, blah, blah, blah. Power 4 coaches are interested. G5 coaches are interested. This job is in demand. Eddie Nunez has to get this hire correct. I believe he understands that. I'm happy to say that I think more and more people connected with athletics and the administration finally are realize what I have said for years, but with the impact of the Caitlin Clark effect taking women's basketball by storm, with Juju Watkins, Hannah Hidalgo, Aaliyah Chavez in high school. Women's basketball is blowing up. It has exploded all over America, except in Houston. And let me put this name on the screen. This man right here, yes, it was 11 years. Coach Hughey had been at Houston 11 years, the same 11 years as head coach Kelvin Sampson. The difference may be 15 to 20 days. He was hired, I think, 15 to 20 days after Coach Sampson got hired on the men's side. 11 years. But this man right here, I'm glad to see you, brother. That means you're doing well. I've known that man since 7th grade. 7th grade. When we were what? My gosh, it's going on 40 years. Wow. We were 13, 14 years old. So appreciate that. Rex, comment here. If Nunez get the hire correct, he would be in the same territory as AD who hired Sampson and Herman. Some folks might quibble about Herman. He put Herman in there with Coach Sampson. But this is a big hire. It's a big decision, a big move. And I believe he understands that. I believe because I was the one who said who asked him at his intro press conference back in August, how important is women's basketball to him? And he said at that time, women's basketball is very important to him and the overall success of a successful athletics program. Now it's time for him to get that right. And Mr. Big Texco, I could go on for weeks about the 11 years, Coach Hughey being here 11 years. I think it was 4 or 5 years too long. And on that note, let me see if I can do this with all these new toys here. But yes, 11 years.
First of all, thank our group.
We were this off and get to this. Here's the record. Look at the record. Look at that, everybody. His first year, conference record was 1-17. His first year, I was in the American. First year, won 6 games in the American. His last year at Houston, 1-17 in conference. Regular season, won 5 games. First year, 6 wins. Last year, 5 wins. 3 WNIT appearances, all first-round exits. 0 NCAA tournament appearances in 11 years. Came close 1 year. 1 out of those 11 came close. Were the first 4 out. And I want to say that was the 21-22 season. I think that's right. No. It was 2021. All they had to do was win their senior night game and beat the last place team in the conference, and they would have been in. They didn't do it. They did not do it. That loss was what is equivalent now to probably a quadrant 4 loss. Bad quad 3, bad quad 4 loss. And in the eyes of the committee, based on what I was told, that loss bumped them from being in the first 4 in to the first 4 out. So this, as many people believe, for the future of the women's program, Nunez has to get it right. Indeed. Amen, without question. But look at that record again. Look at that. Will knows, Raymond, Rex, Miss Wanda, Mr. Big Texco. Started up first year, 1-17 in conference. Last year at Houston, 1-17 in conference. So it was time. It was past time, honestly. And I thought the move should have been made before Houston moved to the Big 12. Give the new head coach a chance to begin recruiting for the talent in the Big 12. And let me be clear on this as well. Big 12 women's basketball is not on the same tier as women's hoops in the SEC, women's hoops in the Big 10, women's hoops in the ACC. Big 12 women's basketball is fourth among the Power 4 programs. That's another reason I've heard that coaches at Power 4 programs would consider Houston because they believe they can win in the Big 12 quickly. Not just compete, but win the Big 12. This job is in demand. Trust me. Trust me when I say that. And y'all know me, y'all watch this show. Some of y'all know me personally. Women's basketball I have a passion about hoops, but I have a definite passion about women's basketball. Going back to my days covering the Comets. Going back to my days covering Chandy Jones and Sancho Little. Coached by Joe Curl, may he rest in peace. So, yes, women's hoops. Been the women's Final Four going on 20, my gosh, how long has it been now? Since 2004, 2005, maybe 2002, excuse me. Thanks to my colleague, Jerry Lee Wheatley Jr. Rest in peace to him as well. So, yes, this hire is important. The administration has to get it right. But as Coach Hughey, yesterday's loss to Colorado summarized Houston Cougars women's basketball this season. They forced Colorado into 33 turnovers. 33. 21 of those in the fourth quarter. And the Cougs still lost. 33 turnovers forced, and they still lost. They shot 22 for 64 from the floor overall. They missed free throws. So all those things, great defensive performance. Colorado did an awful job attacking the press. You force a team to commit 33 turnovers, and you still lose. That's hard to do, but they did it. It was 7 for 15 from the free throw line. So offense was also a problem. Yes, they were shorthanded due to injuries, due to not recruiting and signing a full roster. Did not have the 14, 15 max players on the roster. So when 3 injuries hit the team early, they were down to 8 players. Then 1 player left for personal reasons, down to 7 players. Then another player broke her nose, down to 6 players. The walk-on left the team. So yes, there were times, a handful of times they played 5 players played all 40 minutes. It is I'll just say this. I'm not going to say names, make it seem like I'm being personal. But there were people in the administration who, based on the results and keeping Coach Hughey for 11 years, clearly did not value or did not believe in women's basketball. And let's leave it at that. And you can surmise, you can type in the comments, and I might agree with you. But we all know football makes America go around. We know football makes college athletics go around. We know that. We also know certain people, those coaches did not win a certain number of games. That same standard did not apply, apparently, when it came to women's basketball. So I'll just leave it at that. All right. We're going to talk more about women's basketball. We'll talk Big 12 basketball. Coach Sampson had his Zoom call an hour and a half ago. around about an hour ago, 75 minutes ago. Talk about the Cougs' last game of the regular season, facing Baylor this Saturday. ESPN, 9 o'clock p.m. start. 9 o'clock, yes, 9 o'clock p.m. on ESPN against Baylor. Cougs have a chance to finish the regular season 19-1 in the Big 12. That is just, it blows my mind. 19-1 in the Big 12. After the Cougs beat Kansas, Big 12 Kansas head coach Bill Self was asked his thoughts on the Cougs' success these first 2 years in the conference. Check this out.
To come into the conference and have the success that they've had. Just how impressive is it knowing just how difficult this conference is?
Yeah, they made it look easy. It's not as easy as they're making it look. I'm sure Kelvin would tell you the same thing. They've been fortunate in a couple of games. They were fortunate at our place. They were fortunate at UCF. But even with that being said, they still would have won the league. I mean, they made it look really easy. They're so well coached and drilled and so athletic, and they seem to all like each other and really play well together. So and Milos has gotten a lot better, I think, since the start of the season. He may be the biggest reason why I think they're playing better right now. It's just because of him. But yeah, what Kelvin has done in his 9 years here, is it 9 or 10? 11. What he's done in his time here is the best job that anybody's done, in my opinion, in America in that period of time. I've competed against him, many years when he was at Oklahoma, but he's done he and his staff have done a fabulous job.
Head coach Kelvin Sampson and staff have done their first 2 years in the Big 12, have a chance to go 19-1 in the Big 12. 20 games, conference schedule. The 18 wins in conference play are the most in Big 12 history. Of course, it's the first year 20-game Big 12 schedule. I think KU had the record of 17-1. 19, that blows me away. Still, that blows me away. And let me say this before I take a quick break. Coach Sampson said in today's Zoom call, he kind of echoed what Coach Self said about kind of, having some luck in the wins. Their win at Kansas was fortunate. DeJuan Harris missed some free throws. 2 free throws could have iced the game. Okay, those are free throws. The Cougs, you don't have free throw defense. Okay, the Cougs did force turnovers with their pressure defense. Okay, you struggle to get the ball in bounds. Malik Wilson hit the huge clutch 3. So missing free throws, when your opponent misses some free throws, that is some luck, especially when it's a good free throw shooter. So it's not like Coach Self was taking a shot at the Cougs for winning that game. Hey, your opponent misses free throws. It's not your fault. It's on you to take advantage of it. But you are watching live this Thursday, Throwback Thursday edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover, powered by JM&E. Currently without a sponsor for this show, so you want to advertise. As you see, advertise here in the upper corner. Email me, advertise at some say the, HRR.com. You are watching the Houston Roundball Review Takeover, powered by JM&E, streaming live on YouTube via the Houston Roundball Review channel, Facebook via the Houston Roundball Review, and on Roku via the BS3 Network. Going to play you a quick promo to give you an idea, some more info about what BS3 is all about.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Welcome back to the Houston Roundball Review Takeover of the Lunch Break, powered by JM&E. I'm, of course, KG Kris Gardner of the Houston Roundball Review. First half of the show, we were talking about Houston Cougars women's basketball. Ronald Hughey announced his resignation as head coach of UH women's basketball. A national search will begin for the team's next head coach. Quality candidates will be in demand. Trust me, I have names. One person has been a name that I was told some folks said will get the job, is the favorite to get the job. Person be an upgrade over Coach Hughey. Person would be, I think, a short-term solution to a long-term problem. So this coach is kind of up there in age. This coach probably wants to retire sooner than later. But the coach is an upgrade. You could argue that it wouldn't take much to be an upgrade, but that's another story. But anyway, I digress on that. No, I won't take any shots. Anything else. But all right. As we all know, let's see if I can get back to the information here.
To come into these
new
conferences
toys
and have the success that they've had.
that I have.
Just how impressive is it knowing just
On
how
here.
difficult?
Get back to the slides. Big 12 tournament. It's already started. Women's tournament began. Day 1 was Wednesday. Day 2 is going on right now. The Big 12 announced its entertainment and fan experience enhancements for the men's and women's basketball championships held at Kansas City's T-Mobile Center. I'm not going to name the artists. They don't pay me. I'm not going to plug them specifically. I'll just say that a large 7-foot gentleman, Mr. DJ Diesel, will be performing next Saturday after the men's basketball final. So once again, DJ Diesel will be in the building. But additional power and light district entertainment includes pep bands from Big 12 institutions, as well as those guys right there you see on the screen, blah, blah, blah. Next, food. Food. Oh, this too. This is Commissioner Brett Yormark. Premium seating and fan experience. The Big 12 Men's Basketball Championship will mark the inaugural event for the conference's all-access pass, which provides a new premium experience with access guaranteed seat locations through 2031, as well as access to all Big 12 men's basketball championship games throughout the week. Pass holders will have access to 4 premium clubs and long spaces throughout the event. That should be lounge spaces throughout the event, determined by their seat location. And name, Mr. Big Tex, not this person. No, not that person. That person probably should have the job about 8 years ago. But anyway, next to it. Among those 4 premium spaces is the new Founders Club, which offers prime sideline seats within 15 rows of the lower bowl in the centermost sideline sections. The Big 12 will also introduce its reimagined Big 12 Boulevard Fan Fest. Fans can enjoy Big 12 Boulevard Fan Fest every afternoon of both tournaments until 7 p.m., with the exception of yesterday and Monday, March 10th. March 10th, well, they got eliminated, so never mind. March 10th could have been the final of the Big 12 women's tournament if BYU would have advanced to the title game, because we know BYU does not play games on Sundays, because the Big 12 women's championship is scheduled for Sunday, March 9th, unless BYU advanced to Monday. They lost in the first round, so they're done. Fan Fest will also features new community-based partnerships. Sponsors there you see on the screen. I won't plug them, but you can see them for yourself. But Big 12 Eats returned with school-specific menu items for all 16 Big 12 institutions. The menu includes Arizona Wildcat mini chicken chimichangas, Arizona State smoked boneless wings, Baylor brisket sliders, BYU Cosmos churros, UCF citronaut drink, orange soda and vanilla ice cream, Cincy cheese coney, Colorado chili burrito bowl, Houston Shasta's brisket tacos, yum yum yum, ISU green chili pork walking taco, KU's Big J loaded mac and cheese, K-State Power cat steak tacos, OSU orange power pizza, Oklahoma State, Mr. Will, TCU Cowtown loaded tots, Texas Tech masked rider burger, Utah Majerus special, Coach Rick Majerus, rest in peace to him, the pastrami smash burger, and West Virginia Mountaineer pepperoni roll. And let me just say this. I'll get back to this in a moment. While I was reading that off, I got a text message from someone who said, put in a good word for me for the job at Houston. Folks, I'm telling you, this job is in demand. People want to be the head coach of Houston Cougars women's basketball. And y'all know this person. I'm not going to say this person's name, but y'all know this person. And you know a few other names who have reached out to me and who have interest in this job. This job is in demand. Trust me on that one. Trust me on that one. But back to it, and I want to bounce around here as I am going to mention these final moments. My plan was to mention this first, but Coach Hughey's news bumped that. But gotta get this out there. HISD, Houston ISD. It's HISD to me. Humble ain't it. Okay? Humble ain't it. Humble's not, same initial, blah, blah, blah. HISD is Houston Independent School District. Period. Original, top, first. I'm biased because I'm a proud product when it meant something to be a product of Houston ISD education from elementary, junior high, and high school, all three levels. Houston ISD, HISD schools educated me. What's happened in the last few years with that person in charge, hell, with some folks in charge prior to that. They dropped the ball, all those kind of things. But basketball, HISD has cause for celebration this week as a district record 3 schools have made the state final in boys basketball in San Antonio. The Booker T. Washington Eagles are in the Division I final against Dallas Kimball. Right, Friday, 7 p.m. Central. Wow, Wheatley. My mom went to Wheatley. Good grief. Almost all my aunts and uncles went to Wheatley, either Wheatley or Yates. While Wheatley is in the Division II final against Kennedale, Friday at 5 p.m. In Class 6A, Bellaire is in the Division I final against Duncanville, Saturday at 7 p.m. As Mr. Big Texco notes here, he is correct. Bellaire did beat Brennan. Bellaire High School beat Brennan. San Antonio Brennan was ranked, I want to say, 3rd in the nation. Bellaire has Shelton Henderson. Shelton Henderson is one of the 10 finalists for the 2000. He was a finalist last year, so he's once again a finalist. Shelton scored to 21 points in the Bellaire's win over Brennan. I wonder if Shelton will decide to not go to Duke, but go to Miami, because Jay Lucas is the new head coach at Miami. Jay, a product of Bellaire High School, a great coach, a great recruiter, comes from a big, big, big basketball family, connections all around. Shelton has known Jay, and Jay has known Shelton for a long time. So I wonder if Shelton will say or request from Duke, can I change my commitment and go from Duke to Miami to play for Coach Lucas? Just saying. Did UH recruit Henderson? Yes, of course. To a point. And let me say it again. Jay Lucas has known Shelton for a long time. Shelton played for the Lucas AAU programs for a long time. Duke was Shelton's dream school for a long time. Need I say more? Okay. But wish Bellaire, Booker T, and Wheatley the best of luck in the state finals. You know, H-Town against Dallas. It's always good when H-Town beats the team from Dallas. Can't stand losing to Dallas teams in anything in life. Anything. I don't care what it is. Anything positive, that is. So good luck to all three of them. I wish them the best of luck. Coach Glover at Bellaire High School, good grief, I've known him for a long, long time. Once again, Booker T plays Kimball Friday at 7 in the Division I Final 4A. Wheatley, the Division II Final against Kennedale, Friday at 5. And then Saturday, Bellaire against Dunkerville, Saturday at 7 o'clock. I hope this happens, that they all win, and HISD goes 3-0. I hope that happens. Good luck to all three of those programs. And let me say this, if I can do this right. The winner of the Guy V. Lewis Award will be announced on Tuesday, April 1st. All the young men will be invited to attend an award reception with their family, close family, head coaches as well. This will be, the 14th year. This is the 14th year. I think it's the 14th year of the award. It's gotten bigger and bigger. We got a new location for this year's award reception. And I can say thank you to them because they're also a sponsor, supporter of the Houston Roundball Review. And that is Tejas Brewery. Tejas Brewery is one of the first companies to purchase a listing in the Houston Roundball Review online business directory. Easy way to support the Roundball Review. Inexpensive way as well. Advertise at thehrr.com. So thank you to them for doing that. Real quick, let's see if I can squeeze this in. All right, it's going to jump to the slide, touch on it because it's good news in the short term. I think it's going to be inevitable what happens afterwards. But let's see if I have it up here. Let's go here. There we go, right here. ACC, Clemson and Florida State. They settled the litigation. On Tuesday, they announced they had resolved their ongoing legal disputes. With the resolution, Clemson and Florida State will remain full members of the ACC, short term, and the parties will dismiss all pending lawsuits in the states of Florida, North Carolina, and South Carolina. As part of the settlement, the members of the ACC have agreed to build upon the previously announced success initiatives by creating an additional revenue distribution model that is based on viewership. Unequal revenue is back in college athletics Division I. The new and innovative model will continue to support the entire membership while adding a component directly focused on annual football and men's basketball viewership. As with success initiatives, ACC member schools will have the opportunity to earn increased viewership distributions from the ACC's media revenues and will be incentivized to take actions that enhance viewership across the ACC's 18 member schools. The new revenue distribution model, or quote unquote brand initiative, will be based on a 5-year rolling average. 60% of the total ACC television revenue will go toward this initiative. More weight will be given to more recent viewership. A team's total viewership will then be divided by the total ACC viewership to equal its percentage of the money available in this pool. The other 40% of the TV revenue will be distributed evenly among all league schools. As a result of the settlement, the penalty to leave the conference has been significantly reduced. The grant of rights remains in place through 2036, but beginning next year, the exit fee will be $165 million. That fee then declines by $18 million per year, leveling at $75 million in 2030-31. Any team that pays the exit fee can leave with its media rights intact. Currently, any school that wants to leave before June 2036 must pay 3 times the operating budget, a figure that would be about $120 million plus control of that team's media rights through the conclusion of the grant of rights. The timing of the exit penalty reduction is significant. TV deals for the Big 10, Big 12, and the next iteration of the college football playoff come up for renewal just as that fee goes down to $75 million. So it is a win-win for Florida State and Clemson. 5 years from now, they'll have set aside their $75 million to pay their exit fee. And once they are invited or decide to leave the ACC and hopefully get an invite to the Big 12 or not the Big 12, the Big 10 or the SEC, we'll have more discussions of realignment, new discussions of realignment. Your thoughts on unequal revenue sharing, incentives, payouts based on viewership. How would that fly in the Big 12? How would that, if it happened in the Big 12? Longhorns wanted that kind of stuff. Football viewership, hoops viewership. Things to consider here for the future. The Big 12 and the private equity, private capital discussions are ongoing. I'm not sure how close they are to a final decision, but I think it's going to happen in some form that the Big 12, see, Rex says the Big 12 won't allow the unequal revenue distribution. I agree. I hope that stands firm. There's no, other than men's basketball, go Cougs, there's no cash cow in football in the Big 12 that generates so many eyeballs and generates that is a national brand like the Ohio State, like Notre Dame, like Alabama, like Texas. Boy, it'd be great if one day Houston, it would take a lot of years for the Houston Cougars football to become that national brand. But it got to start somewhere going forward. Head coach Willie Fritz, I believe, is the right person for the job. And that's going to do it here as I wrap up this edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover, powered by JM&E. Thank you for watching this live edition of the show. Brought to you live because of the big news regarding Houston Cougars women's basketball. I expected something to happen. I wasn't sure the timetable, but it did happen just before the show started. Head Coach Ronald Hughey announced his resignation as head coach of the Houston Cougars women's basketball program. Eddie Nunez, the AD, will begin a national search for the next head coach. He will not have a short list of quality candidates who have interest in the job. As I said during the show, I got a text message from one candidate who wants the job. I know of others. Power 4, G5, head coach, assistant coach, associate head coach. It's a list. So Rex, Mr. Will, Raymond, Mr. Big Texco, Miss Wanda, Will knows, everyone who chimed in with comments on YouTube, thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed today's show on the new old platform, the old new platform. I hope I did pretty well. Said I had a few things to figure out. But next week, probably resume the recorded shows, especially with the Cougs men's team being in Kansas City. It's cold in Kansas City. Last I saw yesterday, it was like 25 degrees in Kansas City with snow, I think. Any WNBA assistants interested in the job, they have not contacted me. I'll just put it like that. Not saying they don't have interest, but they have not contacted me. But Rex, Mr. Will, and everyone, thank you very much for participating in today's discussion. Real quick, I'll have to change one of the items, or I have to get rid of one of the items on my merch. And it makes sense. I never thought about it, but it's obvious. I can no longer sell Let's Talk Houston Rockets merch because obviously Houston Rockets is trademarked. So it'll be like an LTHR item. It won't say Houston Rockets for any merch. So let's keep that in mind going forward. But you can buy merch via the Houston Roundball Review. Click on the products, buy merch that way as well. Support the Houston Roundball Review. And lastly, if I can do this quickly, you can also order your merch. Please order your merch like that. Or you can support the Roundball Review via the Cash App, Zelle, or PayPal. So different ways to support the Roundball Review. And that'll be the great way to do it. Thank you to Ben and everyone at BS3 and AJ, of course, for giving me this platform to speak with you guys, share my info and insights and comments on the Cougs basketball, men and women, Big 12 hoops as well. Get back to talking about the Rockets. Maybe tonight, not sure. Hopefully, I'm going to have a meeting with someone, and that'll be a good meeting, a productive meeting. Hopefully, that goes well. But subscribe to the Houston Roundball Review on YouTube. Click the bell so you can be notified when new shows are posted. And y'all know how it goes. As I wrap it up, since 1994, the Houston Roundball Review, local name, global perspective. Everyone, take care. Peace.